guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a huge speed reviews video. I have a lot of favorites, a lot of items that I think are just okay, and then a few fails to share with you guys. I realized I had not yet come back for my June follow-up haul. I have not come back for my July follow-up haul. I was gonna sit down and film my August follow-up haul, and then I was like, wait a minute, I never filmed my July follow-up haul. And I still have some items from, I think, August that I'm still testing out. So I was like, I'm just gonna do a speed review on items from my July follow-up haul that I'm ready to review, my August. And then I also had a recent drugstore, full face of drugstore slash Ulta drugstore affordable haul. I have an e.l.f. hits and misses that will either be up or going up very shortly after this video. And any video that I discuss the products that I'm going to talk about today, I'll leave linked below if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about this. I had I think August hits and misses that I talked about some of these products. I have so much sitting in front of me, you guys. We have so much to get through today, and I'm going to try, like the title would suggest, do speed reviews and not give a backstory or a story about every single product. But if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on a ton of makeup and skincare, stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would consider subscribing before you leave today. I do post a minimum of 4 times a week, and we do a ton of project painting on this channel, as well as we just chat a lot about makeup and about stupid things that I do. So if you like to laugh, and if you like to talk about makeup, why don't you hit the red subscribe button before moving on? Other than that, let's just jump into the video. Okay, I did the braid like curl thing, and then I had to like go, oh no, my hair's like so straight. It's not holding the curl today. I think they're done leaf blowing outside, so hopefully it won't be too noisy. I'm sure there'll be loud cars that drive by. There's always background noise on my channel. You should just come to expect it. Like I said in the introduction, there are 3 separate categories. I have favorites, just okay products, and then a couple of fails, like these products just aren't so good. So we are going to start with, we're going to start on a positive note here because we are so positive on this channel. We're going to start with my favorites, starting with a product or products that I did talk about in my favorites and fails. So I linked that so that I don't have to drone on. I mean, do you think I like these? These are the Tower 28 lip jellies, and when I did the favorites and fails, it was like the day that they released the new shades. They released 4 new shades. So up until they released those new shades, I had these 4 shades. I highly recommend this formula. $14 for the Tower 28 lip jellies. If you just like a clear gloss, I would highly recommend the shade Chill. These were amazing summer shades. I don't know how much use I will get out of these in the winter. I will probably wear Fire some in the fall just because it's a really beautiful orangey shade. And honestly, even during the holidays, I mean, I can get use out of these as well. So comfortable, and they are more than just like a sheer pigment. Like, they give some pigment to them, and I just think that they are so beautiful, but they don't transfer all over the face. So if you do opt for a more pigmented shade, I never worry about these ending up like in my eyebrows or anything like that. And then I did pick up 3 of their new shades as well. Like I said, they released 4. I had to talk myself off the edge of getting that 4th shade because I felt like I was towing the line of being able to justify this as a hidden skincare purchase to my husband. I have to be careful now because he has been watching my videos lately, and he's starting to learn my tricks on how I sneak makeup by him. But I did pick up these 3 shades. I picked up the shade Oat, Cashew, and Coconut. So I will just do quick swatches. You know, every single time I film a video like this, I tell myself I'm going to be a better YouTuber. I'm going to do like the cutaway shots to me like swatching things, and then I just run out of time. So we're just going to do it here together. So this first one is Oat. It's just a very, very beautiful pale pink shade. I love this one. And then I have Coconut, which this doesn't really look like a coconut shade to me. Not the shade I would imagine a coconut to be, but it is what it is. This is more of like a mid-toned pink. Very, very beautiful. Kind of like a Your Lips But Better sort of shade. And then I also picked up the shade Cashew, which is this really pretty, more brown tone shade. I love a good brown toned nude, so I was all about that one. And again, that is in the shade Cashew. So those are the 3 new ones I picked up. Love these. I hope that they release more shades and I'll buy them. I'll probably end up picking, there's 2 that I don't own. There's like a purple one I don't own, and then there was one that released in the last release that was just a little bit darker than Cashew. I just thought Cashew would look a little bit, or work a little bit better for me, and I probably didn't need 8 lip jellies. Like 7 was a good cap for me, but I just love these. I can't say enough good things about them. This year, the year of tinted lip oils or comfortable lip products, I have been loving it. I mean, if you put these on underneath the mask, it's gonna get a little bit messy, but at the same time, they're so hydrating on the lips. Like, no one has to see your messy face underneath your mask, so highly recommend these from Tower 28. Speaking of lip products, I have 2 more that, that I will share with you really quick. First, this Nars Orgasm X. I was not interested in this at all, but then Jamie Page talked me into it in one of her videos, and I actually ended up picking up the shade Orgasm X. I think there were 2 other shades that released. One of them was like a brown shade, I think in the shade Laguna, and I can't remember what the 3rd shade was, maybe more of a gold shade. Here is Orgasm X. It's this really, really beautiful pink, like very bright pink gloss with like gold shimmer running through it, but it doesn't look like sparkle on your lips. It almost looks metallic without being like obnoxiously metallic. It just makes your lips look super shiny, super healthy, super juicy, very comfortable. These are really expensive. I think I paid $26 for this, but again, it's that tinted lip oil formula, and I just love me a comfortable lip product. You guys know I am about the tinted lip oil trend, and this obviously is more of like a summer tone shade. I don't know how much use I will get out of this fall and winter, but come springtime again, and if we can ever travel again, I will definitely take this with me. So comfortable. Definitely recommend checking these out if the price tag doesn't scare you away and you're looking for something that's just going to make your lips. It's not a plumping formula, but because it gives the lips such a shine, it almost makes your lips look bigger than they are because they just look so juicy and so healthy. So I really have been enjoying that formula. And then the final lip product I have to mention is this one from Bite Beauty. I did get this sent to me through Octoly, and I picked mine in the shade Cinnamon Toast. I actually have this underneath a lipstick. I always have so many lip products layered on one another, so I have a liquid lipstick, and then I put this on, and then it was starting to wear off, so I put my Maybelline Baddest Beige over it. So I'm sure you guys have seen these all over the place. I feel like so many people have been talking about these and reviewing them. These are made with cinnamon oil, so they smell like cinnamon, and the packaging is super unique in that it has a plastic applicator that looks like a lipstick, but it's super, super hygienic because you're not dipping a doe foot back and forth, and it's hard plastic, so you can wipe it right off. I have a little bit of product, and I'm just gonna put right over top. This is supposed to be a lip plumping gloss. I don't notice that I feel like it makes my lips look any plumper. Again, it gives kind of that shiny effect. It just makes your lips look really healthy and really juicy, but I don't know that it makes my lips look any plumper, and it doesn't have that tingling sensation that I get from like the Buxom plumping lip glosses, which I personally am okay with. It also has an airless pump, so it's really nice that you won't necessarily have any wasted product, and you don't have to take a don't have to take a stopper out. I feel like I just know how many products I have to get through, so I'm trying to talk really fast. I already talk really fast and really loud, but anyway, I've really been enjoying this. I am really interested in picking up. There's a couple other shades that I'm really interested in. These, again, very expensive. I think these are $26 as well. If the price tag doesn't scare you away, I do recommend these. I think it's a really nice formula. By the way, I will have everything linked down below, and just so you know, they will be affiliate links. Never any pressure to buy through my links. You can always just go to the brand's website. You can go to Ulta, you can go to Sephora and search the product. But if you are interested in supporting my channel and purchasing through those links, everything will be linked down below for you guys. I recently did an Ulta or drugstore haul. I felt like I hadn't purchased anything from the drugstore all year, so I wanted to pick a few things up, and 2 things that definitely were huge wins in my opinion. First, I have the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush, and I picked mine up in the shade Wine Glow. I was going back and forth on this formula for a little bit, but I think once I realized that it's just meant to be more of a sheer dewy formula, I really came to really enjoy it. At first I thought, I don't know, I thought it was just, it is a very sheer formula, which in the beginning I was like, I don't know, but especially if you're a beginner, I think that this is gonna work really, really nicely for you. So here's mine. It doesn't look like a very sheer formula, but I did accidentally kind of pump a lot out. But as you blend it in, especially if you use a beauty blender, you guys, this is really just going to sheer out into like a really beautiful like bronze toned blush. I think this is stunning. I'm definitely interested in picking up another shade in this product. It has a really unique consistency for a liquid blush. It feels almost like a gel-like consistency, and I haven't worked with a liquid blush formula quite like this. I believe I paid $9.99 for this. I definitely think if you're interested in dabbling in liquid blush, this is one I would recommend checking out. Again, it's a lesser cost than if you were to go to, say, Sephora, and it really does sheer out quite nicely. My favorite way to apply this is to put a little bit on the back of my hand, take some on my middle finger, tap it onto my cheek, and then I go over it with a stippling brush. And then to really smooth things out, I also go over it with a beauty sponge. That's just the way I like to apply it. I know it's a lot of steps. You could obviously do it the way that you like to best apply blush, but I find that that works really, really nicely for me. And then also, you guys, these NYX, what are these called? The Foil Play cream eyeshadows. These are so good. I'm so upset that it has taken me so long to find these. So I originally picked mine up in this shade right here, which I believe, I don't know how to pronounce. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Yes. Pro YouTuber right here. I'm just kidding. So this is like a very creamy consistency. Like this, it's creamy. It's not like a dry formula. And it dries down very nicely. There's a like I barely had any on my finger, and that's what that looks like. This is so beautiful. I used this the other day. I was nervous for this, but I just tapped some on the lid, and then I took a big fluffy brush and blended over it, and it looked so good as just one shadow on the lids and done. It makes the lids look wet. Like, it is so stunning. And I've also used like a sparkly shade on top of this just to give it even a little bit of extra dimension, which you absolutely don't need, but it was stunning as well. So naturally I had to pick up another shade, and my Ulta is like doesn't have all the shades, probably because everyone's discovering these. But the other shade I picked up is this one, which is in the shade Beauty Buzz. I'm running out of places to swatch, which is a really, really stunning champagne shade. Like, can you even with these? I believe these are $6, worth every penny. I'm about to talk about the Rowan Quads. These shades are very, very similar to the special shades in the Rowan Quads. So if you've been interested in like the disco shades from Rowan, but you don't want to pay the $22 for a single shadow, just pick a shade or two out of the NYX Foil Play line, and you will be just as happy. I guarantee it. All right, guys, so speaking of the Rowan Quads, I have two that I have picked up. I have the 75 Degrees, which is this guy right here. This shade reminds me quite a bit of, oh, I should have kept that shade swatched. Quite a bit of the shade Bark, except for maybe, or Baroque. I don't know how to pronounce it, from NYX. But this one doesn't have quite as much shimmer running through it. These are beautiful, but they are very expensive. I also have the 1111 Quad, which is probably my favorite of the two, just because, I mean, I love a good mauve toned moment, and that is what I'm getting with this. I have had so much fun with both of these. They do have a third quad that's maybe like 52 degrees. It's a temperature, and it's a very, very cool toned quad. I don't know how interested I am in that, but I will be interested to see if they release more quads or what else Rowan does release, because these I've been a big fan of. I do want to, I'm just gonna swatch the entire 75 degree palette for you guys. All of the shadows, so each quad has like one shadow that's creamier than the rest, but all of the shadows feel a little bit creamy and a little bit wet to the touch, and they are just so unique in my opinion. The swatches are really not going to do it justice, but they are just absolutely stunning. If you like to do very simple eye looks and you like just one shadow on the lid, you like your eyelids to look just wet and glossy. What do they call that? The not like the after hours model sort of look. That is what you're going to achieve, woo, with these quads. Highly recommend. They're stunning. They're expensive. You can also just buy the NYX foil play shadows and I feel like you'll be just as happy if you're looking to not spend $42 on an eyeshadow quad, something like that. Okay, sticking with eyeshadow palettes, I have two more favorites. Oh my goodness, I have fallen in love with the Kaleidos eyeshadow formula. So this is their Escape Pod eyeshadow palette and I've had so much fun with this. Their mattes are absolutely incredible. One of the best matte eyeshadow formulas I have ever tried. And do you see all the fun colors in here? Even like the purple, the pink, like these perform so well. They are so easy to work with. They are so blendable. I am so interested in the newest 5-pan shadow palettes that they just released. Trying to figure out how to justify that one to my husband. I am selling some things on Poshmark and I think once I reach the total that I need to order the newest 5-pan eyeshadows from Kaleidos, that's what I'm gonna do. But this is beautiful. This purple shade in Space Oasis, holy guacamole. I don't even like guacamole. It's not gonna look like a whole heck of a lot here swatched, but this with a beautiful light cool toned like taupey shade, absolutely obsessed. Also, I did a look where I used this blue shade and this lavender shade, and then I used Space Oasis, that's what it's called, right? Space Oasis, like tapped onto the center of the lid. Just so good. So freaking good. This makes me feel so creatively inspired. I just cannot get enough of this. And, I mean, can we just take a second to appreciate that it has two beautiful green shimmer shades as well? Let me swatch these for you guys. I, again, should be better about getting swatches for you guys, but like my arm that I would swatch on has my tattoo, so I've been using my daughter as a swatching arm. I recently posted on my Instagram swatches of the pumpkin spice palette and I used my daughter to swatch. She had a ton of fun with it. So here are the two green shimmer shades. They're so stunning. If you guys have been interested in Kaleidos, I think that one, it's amazing to support indie brands, and two, they have an amazing formula to support. And then the Tiny Marvels palette from Sydney Grace. I was so excited for Mel Thompson to be doing a collaboration, and then I was even more excited that it was with Sydney Grace because, again, I have been trying to support more indie brands, and Sydney Grace was a brand that I had really been interested in for quite some time. So I was so excited to finally get to try out their eyeshadow formula, and it didn't disappoint. This is such a beautiful palette. I will say, when I first used it, I felt like a couple of the brown shades were a little bit drier in texture. They definitely are powdery, which is totally fine with me, but they felt a little bit dry. But the more I've used this palette, the more I have just absolutely fallen in love. The shimmers are so beautiful and outstanding. Fire Butts, I mean, again, you guys know how I feel about anything that has a green tint to it. Like, that is literally like a shade I feel like that was just made for me. That is so freaking beautiful. And then also this one, I forget how you pronounce it, Scarab, which was a shade that they already had in their line, but this is just renamed. It's this beautiful like bluey red shade. It's so stunning. I believe this palette is coming back September 22nd. Which might be today. I literally don't even know what day it is anymore. But if you can get your hands on this, or if you were thinking about it, I mean, the color story is just so unique too, in my opinion. I love that it's not just neutrals and that there's these fun pops of color. This lavender shade is so pretty and works so well. It has a really nice mirror. And I love the artwork, so I'm so happy to have this one in my collection, and just another congratulations to Mel Thompson. All right, guys, I recently posted ranking every single foundation that I've tried this year, so I'm going to be very brief about these next two because you can just go check that video out if you want to hear my full thoughts on both of these, but I wanted to mention them briefly because these really have turned into favorites. The Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation is absolutely stunning if you like a more medium coverage natural finish foundation. And this is super long wearing. I noticed that it obviously still transfers some onto my mask, but it wears away so nicely, and it doesn't like, it's not like I put my mask on, take it off for lunch, and I'm completely missing foundation on the lower half of my face. This is so beautiful. $16 I personally think is a fair price. I know a lot of people were a little bit upset that the Colourpop foundation was that much, but you do get a full fluid ounce in this, whereas I think their previous foundation, which was a little bit less expensive, you didn't get the full fluid ounce. And I know their tinted moisturizer was $2 less. You do get like 1.7 in that, but I think $16 is a fair price for this. This is a beautiful foundation. I think that this competes with a lot of high-end foundations, and if you were thinking about this, this is something that I would recommend. And then I also have really been enjoying the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator on days that I'm really just looking to even out my skin tone. I don't need a lot of coverage, but I just want a little bit of something. This has been really nice. $29 I didn't think was a horrible price. And this, with some of the cream products that I have been testing out, I have been loving this. Plays really nicely with other cream products, so I do like this one from Tarte. I have a couple of Glossier products to recommend. The Glossier Play highlighter I think is absolutely beautiful. I love that you get a little doe fit, so you can just kind of paint this onto your face where you want it. I picked mine up in the shade Pale Pearl, which is this really beautiful kind of mix between, you can barely see it here, but it's kind of a mix between a pink and a champagne. If it catches the light, do you see how wet that looks? And just so stunning. This wasn't on the cheeks. This is not quite as intense as I was expecting. I feel like I've heard people talk about this and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the most blinding highlight ever. If you blend this out with a beauty sponge, it doesn't have to be blinding. And sometimes I don't like a super blinding highlight. I think you can make this look natural, and I really have been impressed with that, as well as the Glossier Future Dew. This is a very interesting and unique product. This can be used as a skincare product, as a primer, however you want to use it. I really like to use this kind of as my last step in my skincare, but I usually also pair this with a primer. Like, I never use this as just a primer. I usually pair it with another primer. It's beautiful. It is so stunning. It is very, very dewy, but it just looks like you have like this healthy glow to your skin. I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference. Like, it just makes you look glossy and kind of like that off-duty model sort of look. I think it's very clear from this video that I have been looking like an off-duty model lately. Just kidding. I'm really sweaty. It's really warm in this home. I had my electric fireplace on, and I definitely didn't need to, so now I've turned my air conditioning on and my fireplace off. This is beautiful. I also will wear this some days like just by itself with a little bit of tinted brow gel and some mascara and call it a day. Like on days that I'm flying out the door, forgot to pack my daughter's lunch, and like, you know, I should probably pack her a lunch rather than taking extra time to do my makeup. Those are the days that I opt for this. This is beautiful. I really like that one. If you like a glow, if you're more of a matte type of girl, probably would skip that, but it's beautiful. And then the last makeup product for a beautiful glow, I actually have this on my cheeks today, layered with another highlighter. I love this. This is their Living Luminizer Glow Quad, and this is stunning. This is so easy to use. I was really hesitant to pick this up. I do own the RMS Beauty concealer, and it's not a favorite of mine, and I also have owned like a single of their highlight way in the past before I kind of learned how to use liquid and cream products. This might be a new holy grail. Like, this is so easy to apply. I just apply it with my finger, and then I'll go over it with a beauty sponge, and it gives the most glossy, natural looking like luminosity to the cheeks. It is stunning. The bronzer I haven't used as a bronzer, but I've used this on my eyelids as like a base, and I really like it as a base, just to like, if I put this on and then I go in with just like a one or two shadows in the crease, it just gives this really like bronzed copper sort of effect, like a very light eye effect for days that I'm just like not trying to do too much with my eyes. I don't know, I really like the bronzer on the eyes, and the rest of the shades are just absolutely stunning on the cheeks, and I have been so impressed by this. I think that was rude. I think that the little quad is only 25 bucks, which I don't think is a bad price, so that's just how I feel. Okay, and then I just have 3 skincare products briefly to mention as favorites, and then we're gonna get into the just okay now that we're already like 20 minutes into the video. Okay, Good Molecules recently sent this over. This is their Rose Water Daily Cleansing Gel. I love this. This is amazing. This is such a good cleanser for evening. Like, this takes all of my makeup off, but makes my skin still feel like it's hydrated. It doesn't feel stripped at all. I was super impressed by this. I am really picky about my cleansers. So when I got this in the mail, I was like, I'll give it a try, and like, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have been reaching for this over my Tatcha Rice Cleanser, to give it to you straight. So good. Not a whole heck of a lot more to say about that. And then Saturday Skin. So I've gotten 2 like bundles from them through Octoly, and I have some products that are falling in a lower category, but I do have 2 that have turned into favorites. I will link the 2 bundles in my description box down below. These are my 2 favorites. So first we have the Avocado Date Seed Eye Cream. This is so hydrating underneath the eyes. I use this every single morning, and it is just beautiful. I found that, especially like with the way that my mask sits on my face, sometimes it'll like push my cheeks into my eyes and I get a ton of creasing, and my eyes just look really, really dry and kind of like, I don't want to say crusty, but they'll crease pretty bad and they just look dry. And since I've started using this and drinking more water, I don't get as much creasing as my mask kind of pushes everything into my face. And I don't know if that's just because I'm also using different products or what, but this is so nice if you have dry under eyes. Highly, highly recommend this. A full size of this, it's like a pretty good price, because normally you just get 0.5 fluid ounces, and I want to say they have a full, I don't know if this is different than the Wide Awake one, which I also really like. So actually I don't know what the full price and size of this is, but in general, I find that Saturday Skin has pretty fair prices for their products. I've also been testing out their 10% glycolic acid plus pore control complex. I only use this 2 times per week. I think it says to use 3 to 5 times per week. I use this in the evening time, put it on a cotton pad, wipe it on my face, and I've noticed that this does a really nice job at like keeping my pores in control and making my face look a little bit less textured. I've had a lot of texture around my chin, and this has definitely helped to kind of keep it at bay. I definitely still have like little bumps that pop through, but they aren't as significant as they were before I started using this. And this is a lot gentler than for example, the Ole Henriksen Glow 02 or whatever toner. I don't know if that one has glycolic acid in it as well, but this is so much gentler. This one doesn't sting my skin at all. It has an interesting scent to it. It's nothing that like you put on your face and you're like, ooh, ooh, but like you can smell it. It smells like glycolic acid. It's not like fragrance, and it's not like necessarily like, ooh, this smells pleasant. It's just an interesting scent, but I really, really like this. And if you find that your skin is sensitive to glycolic acid or toners that are a little bit more harsh, like the Ole Henriksen one, but you still want a toner like that in your collection, this might be worth checking out, because like I said, it is, but like it's more, I don't want to say it's more sensitive, but it doesn't make my skin sting like other toners do. Can't speak. Whew, it is so warm in here. Okay, you guys, we are gonna move on to the just okay category, and we can actually start with the other 2 products I have from Saturday Skin. So first up, we have the Rub-A-Dub Refining Peel Gel, and this is basically like a dry exfoliant. I've owned this in the past, and I like this. It's just not a favorite, and when I finish this, I'm interested in buying a full size of the Wishful Pineapple Enzyme. This reminds me a lot of it. So basically, with dry skin, you rub this onto your face and it basically balls and pills up. You wash it away and your dead skin cells are removed. So it is a nice gentler exfoliant than something like a walnut scrub is super abrasive, so that's not necessarily like the best comparison. But if you are looking for a gentle physical exfoliant, this is nice. It's just not a fave. And then also their Yuzu Vitamin C Sleep Mask. So this obviously is a sleeping mask that is jam-packed with vitamin C. It is a really interesting texture. It's runny and watery, I don't know, but also kind of sticky. And you're supposed to put this on after your entire evening skincare routine, including your moisturizer. So you literally put this on top of your moisturizer. And I feel like for me, it's just like by that point, my face just feels like it has so much on it that this just feels like a lot. And I haven't really noticed much of a difference in terms of my skin being more bright, less dull, etc. So I wouldn't repurchase this. Again, it's just okay in my opinion. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this in my favorites category. I've talked about this on my Instagram, and I feel like maybe on my channel as well, but the Supergoop Glow Screen, I think I mentioned it in a favorites and fails. So good if you like a glow, if you like a glowy primer. This can basically act like a glowy primer that gives you SPF 40. It's so good. That's a favorite. Forgot to mention that in a favorite. Another bundle that was sent to me through Octoly was this one from Fresh. So they sent over 2 of their lip treatments as well as their lip wonder drops. And I love the original Fresh Sugar lip treatment. The ones that they sent over a tinted one in Sugar Velvet. I think that's the shade. Which is a really deep berry shade, which I think is really pretty. However, it's just not a shade that I want my lips to look like every single second of every single day. And then also the Mint Rush one. I have found about myself that I don't love minty things on my lips. So this just isn't an absolute favorite. It's just a clear. Both are super hydrating on the lips. I just prefer, like if I'm going to be going for the Fresh Sugar lip treatment, I'm just going to go for the original one in the brown packaging. It is the best in my opinion. I like it even more than the like intense treatment one. And then as far as the Wonder Drops are concerned, basically these come out obviously in a dropper form. You put a few onto your lips and then you rub it in, and it's supposed to like prep and hydrate your lips. It definitely does feel hydrating on the lips, but I feel like it's almost like an extra step. Like I could just get this from a really hydrating lip product like the Fresh Original Lip Treatment. So I wouldn't purchase this for myself, but they're nice. They are nice. I always have really dry lips, so anything that's going to add hydration to my lips I can appreciate. I just personally wouldn't purchase that for myself. 2 more products I have in the okay category are these face palettes from Essence. I have the bronzing palette as well as the pure nude highlighting palette. These are just a little bit more powdery of a formula than I tend to prefer, which is why I'm ranking these in the okay category. The highlighter palette, I really like these 2 shades. This one is more of like a duochrome purpley pink shade that I just am not going to wear on an everyday basis. And then this one is just a little bit more gold than I typically prefer. Again, a little bit more powdery. I definitely have to blend over this with a beauty sponge to get it to look as smooth as I want, which is why I am ranking this here. $10, pretty good price, but it is powdery, so beware of that. And then the bronzing palette, again, it is pretty powdery, but I really like these 3 shades right here. This one is a little bit deep for me, but these 3 are beautiful. This one for like a light contour to build up, I have been loving. It's just a little bit powdery, and I don't love face palettes. I prefer just a single bronzer, but I did want to pick this up for my full face of drugstore, so that's why I picked up a couple of face palettes. But already they get docked points because it's a face palette and they just aren't my favorite. This I've had in my collection for quite some time now. This is from Dominique Cosmetics. It's her Skin Gloss, and I have mine in the shade Sunset Glow. I think this is beautiful, and the only reason I'm not ranking this in the favorite category is it's just more of like a blush topper. I really wanted the champagne shade that was more of like a highlight slash, yeah, highlight. But unfortunately it was sold out. I am interested still in picking that up. I think I would absolutely love that. But I've been using this as a blush topper, and it's beautiful as a blush topper as well. It's just kind of an extra step, especially like if I'm going in with a cream blush and then another cream blush topper on top of that. It's just not always my preference. So it's more of a shade thing. That's why I'm ranking it in the Just Okay. One more product in the Just Okay category. I have the Ilia Beauty Concealer, and the reason I'm ranking this as Just Okay, this is light to medium coverage, and usually I don't need much coverage from my concealer, but this even is a little bit light for me. And also for $30, like the packaging just feels really cheap. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but like my wand is a little bit curved, and like every time I put this in, it feels like I'm gonna break the doe foot. And I just feel like it should be a little bit nicer for the price you pay for this. Very sheer coverage. So if you like a sheer coverage concealer, you might really like that, but just be wary of the packaging, kind of cheap. And then the final product in the Just Okay category, I feel like this is gonna be an unpopular opinion for those of you who have and do love these Cosmetics blushes. This is their Serum Blush, and I have mine in the shade Rose Milk, which is a really, really beautiful blush shade. And for me, it's just the way that you apply this I don't love, because you have to be so careful, and then sometimes mine doesn't even pick up. Oh, here, I got a little bit actually. Okay, that I mean, I would still get more shades of this. There's some really beautiful, like bright reddy orange ones I'm interested in. It's just a formula that takes some getting used to. This one is pretty sheer, as you can tell, but I have definitely gone in with too much on the cheek. Like I get more on the dropper than I anticipate, and then I drop it onto the cheeks, and then it's running down my cheek. So it's just a very interesting formula that takes some getting used to. I don't feel like it's that beginner friendly, which is why I feel like I have to rank it in the fine category or the Just Okay category. Also, I thought this was gonna be bigger than it was. I don't know why. In the pictures, I just, when I got this, I was like, oh, like it still like has a ton of product in it, but it was smaller than I had originally expected. All right, you guys, to wrap it up, I have two products that are a fail for me. First is this one from Ilia. This is their lip conditioner in Nobody's Baby, and I just shouldn't have bought this. I thought it was gonna be like a nice chapstick, which I feel like if you're gonna be a lip balm or like a lip conditioner, like why are you trying to pretend to be a lipstick? This is tinted, but it is a very sheer tint. I mean, I built that up quite a bit. It just feels dry on the lips, and it does nothing in terms of actually conditioning my lips. This is very expensive. I want to say I paid $26 for this, and I wish I would have just gone with their actual lipstick formula as opposed to the lip conditioner, but I thought for my like makeup preferences or lip preferences, I would have preferred the lip conditioner, but it's not good. It's not long lasting, and this was definitely a bust in my opinion. And then I also got this from Saturday Skin in one of the bundles that I got through Octoly, and this is their Pretty Pop Probiotic Power Whipped Cream, and this is a moisturizer. This is just such a weird formula. It's like I want to compare it to Cool Whip for some reason. It's a whipped formula. Does it say? Yeah, whipped cream. And it just, I feel like this adds literally no hydration at all to my skin. The only pro I can say about this, I mean, maybe it adds like a little bit, but it's just, this is not enough. Morning, night, not enough. So I almost will like pair this with a second moisturizer, but this does give a very beautiful glow to the skin that does last even after my skin drinks in the little bit of moisture it gets from it within the first 10 seconds. It does offer a beautiful glow to the skin, but even if you have oily skin, I feel like you wouldn't like this because then it's going to make you look super glowy. And if you have dry skin, this is not at all hydrating enough. So for me, this was just a fail. I mean, I'll use it up, but I wouldn't recommend this. Whew. We've been filming for 45 minutes. I will be interested to see how much we can cut this video down. But if you've made it till the end of this speed review, really long video, Bless your heart. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and supporting my channel as you always do. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what products you have recently tried and what was a hit or what was a miss. Other than that, I will catch you in my next video. Bye.